Hey guys, you wanted more versions of Batman, and there are a ton of really cool Batmans. Batman? No clue. Regardless of how you put it, I'm here to tell you about some of my favorite alternate versions of your favorite Caped Crusader. You guys had some awesome suggestions in the last video, keep them coming. And let me know which of these versions you think could win in a fight in the comments down below. Now, I'm Ron Mackenzie Lafergie with Top 10 Nerd, and here are my top 10 alternative versions of Batman, Part 2. Number 10. Kingdom Come Batman. The Batman from Earth 22 is one of the most dependent on technology, as his advanced age causes him to fuse himself with a robotic exoskeleton to maintain his strength and agility. In this universe, after Superman retired, Batman's secret identity became public knowledge, leading Bane and Two-Face to blow up Wayne Manor. Continuing in the safety of the Batcave, Bruce continues to make the world a better place, building robots to protect Gotham. He also continues building equipment for other heroes using companies he still owns. After a big battle against Lex Luthor's legions, Batman eventually takes a step back from heroics and focuses on training younger heroes, but remains a total badass for the rest of his days. This Batman was super cool. I love me an old Bruce, and his technology is awesome. While Earth 22 isn't the craziest version of Earth, it's really interesting and among the best written in my opinion. Give it a shot. Number 9. Lil Batman. Lil Batman is the most adorable version of Batman ever. First appearing in Batman Annual number 27, he lives in Lil Gotham with the other super cute heroes and villains. This was kind of a weird thing that comics did sometimes, where they just took all the characters and made them little and cute. I remember Archie did it all the time, but I was surprised to learn that Batman did it too. The weirdest thing is that this came out in 2009, when the whole Lil fad had more or less died out. While the Lil Gotham stories don't have quite the oomph of other stories, and the Batman is far from the coolest version, it's pretty funny to read, and the characters look seriously adorable. Especially Robin, who kinda looks like Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes. Number 8. Bat Ninja. In a somewhat less known Elseworld story, Batman is reimagined as a ninja master, training his apprentice Robin. While this comic is actually Robin, Annual number 3, following the adventures of the ninja apprentice, Batman is pretty sick in this version. Taking place in feudal Japan, we see Bat Ninja sworn to protect the House Hideyoshi and his student Tengu, or Ninja Robin. Knowing that he was going to be attacked, Bat Ninja sends his student away before being assaulted by a number of heavily armored ninjas. Bat Ninja kills all but 2 before his wounds overcome him. While this was an extremely short-lived version of Batman, it was super cool to see him basically playing a wise master who sacrifices himself for honor, and it sets up one of Robin's most interesting storylines. Number 7. ELIOT NESS Batman. In the Scar of the Bat version of Batman, the famed federal agent charged with taking down the gangster Al Capone becomes frustrated with the limitations of the law and decides to take justice into his own hands as Batman. Taking place in the Prohibition era, it's a pretty cool story with really nice artwork that's somewhat understated but suitable given the time period. While it's a bit of a buzzkill to have no Bruce in the story, if you've ever wanted to see Batman shooting a Tommy gun, this is a story for you. Plus, he says the line, "I didn't bring my bat tonight. I picked up a typewriter instead. A Chicago typewriter to write your obit," which is the perfect combination of Prohibition era talk and Batman corniness. While it's not for everyone, I definitely think Scar of the Bat is worth a read. Number 6. AZRAEL Batman. Jean-Paul Valley first appeared in the 1992 series Batman Sword of AZRAEL, and took on the mantle of Batman in the Nightfall, Nightquest, and Night's End story arcs. When Valley's father dies, his brainwashing from the system kicks in, and he takes on the mantle of AZRAEL, the assassin enforcer. When tracking the same person as Bruce, he comes to realize that he's fighting for the wrong team and joins Batman to fight crime in Gotham, even taking on the Batman mantle after Bruce is paralyzed by Bane. With a new power suit and multitude of new, more dangerous gadgets, the new Batman was a somewhat less moral and more deadly Batman. Unfortunately, the conditioning from his early life seemed to kick in, and he entered a violent and delusional state where he stopped seeing reason. When Bruce learns that he's killing criminals, he is forced to take back the role of Batman. I quite like this version of Batman since I'm rather partial to the more killy versions, and a lot of his gadgets were pretty cool. My only problem with Valley's Batman is the brainwashing made him act in ways that stepped away from brutal justice towards more crazy violence. It's still cool though. Number 5. Franken Batman. In this version of Batman from the 1994 Elseworlds story, Bruce Wayne is a scientist who attempts to bring his father back to life after he's murdered in a highway robbery. To do this, Bruce combines his father's brain with the DNA of a bat to create an undead man-bat version of his father, similar to Frankenstein's monster. The recently returned Thomas Wayne uses his new bat powers to get vengeance on the robbers who killed him. As he seems to become more animalistic and uncontrollable, Bruce chases after him, only to find that the Batman was trying to show him that the robbers had been working for Thomas's rival, Dr. Seltsam, who ordered Thomas's death because Thomas disapproved of Seltsam's methods. And the Batman ends up saving the day and his son by sacrificing himself. With appearances from the hunchbacked Alfredo and Bürgermeister Gordon, this was a pretty cool version of Batman. But I might be biased because I love pretty much every version of Thomas Wayne Batman. Number 4. Superman Batman. In Superman Speeding Bullets, the infant Kal-El's spaceship crashes in Gotham, and the boy is taken in by the Wayne family, and named Bruce. Following the death of his parents, Super Bruce incinerates their killer with his heat vision, and becomes an incredibly brutal and violent Batman, straight up destroying many of Gotham's villains. In this reality, Lex Luthor becomes Super Batman's Joker, leading a group of soldiers under the name the Independent Nation State of Jokerania. After Batman defeats Lex, he's convinced by Lois Lane to take a more moral path and stop, killing everyone, and becomes the Batman we know and love. This was a great read. You get to see both a powered up Batman and a super violent Batman, two things that are awesome to see. Number 3. Adam West Batman. Batman! We all know this Batman, the star of the TV show and classic Batman film. Adam West took Batman in a whole new direction, making the character overtly campy to fit the campy dialogue. It was a really genius decision that basically saved the show. With a plethora of ridiculous gadgets like the infamous shark repellent and horrendously cheesy dialogue and jokes, the Adam West Batman is, in my opinion, the driest and funniest version of Batman to date. If you want to learn more about it, check out the Adam West documentary on Netflix starring Adam West. It was really cool and opened my eyes to a lot of what went on behind the scenes. Number 2. Demon Batman. This is probably one of my favorite Batman stories in terms of originality. In the one-off Elseworlds story, Batman and Demon: A Tragedy, Bruce Wayne is plagued with violent nightmares, while a violent demon haunts the streets of Gotham. It's revealed that Bruce is actually 1,000 years old, given long life as the vessel of the demon Etrigan, who was once summoned to defeat the forces of Metropolis. While the demon lies dormant during the day, at night he is released. Oh, and Alfred is Merlin in disguise, who originally summoned Etrigan and who serves Bruce as a penance for condemning him to a life with the demon. Pretty nifty. Eventually, in a really depressing act, Bruce is forced to erase his memories of his girlfriend Glenda to save her life and forget what he had learned about the demon, and he continued his lonely existence as Etrigan's vessel. This was a seriously cool story with really nice artwork. It might be my favorite Elseworlds story ever, but I love fairy tales and things like this, so I'm slightly biased. Number 1. Batman Beyond. Okay, story time. In my last Batman video, I had intended to put Terry McGinnis at number 2, a close second to Flashpoint Batman. But for some reason, when transferring my ideas into script form, he just went forgotten. But not today. Terry McGinnis is one of the best iterations of Batman and is clearly very popular amongst many of you. Terry McGinnis is the Batman of Gotham City in 2039, under the direction of an elderly Bruce Wayne. While Batman Beyond lasted only 3 seasons, it left a lasting impression on Batman fans everywhere, largely due to the shift in personality from the older, stoic Batman to a younger, more energetic version. Add to that a somewhat darker setting and futuristic gadgets, and you get one hell of a show. To top it all off, one big piece of news was revealed in the unofficial series finale, the Justice League Unlimited episode Epilogue. Terry is Bruce's biological son. It's kind of a long story with cloning and Cadmus Labs and nanotechnology, but the bottom line is that Terry is a combination of the DNA of his mother and Bruce Wayne, which is really cool and a pretty satisfying twist. That's it for today, folks. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe below so we can keep these lists going. Which of these versions would win in a battle royale? Any suggestions for other videos? Let me know in the comments down below. In the meantime, I'm Ron McKenzie LaFurgey with Top 10 Nerd. Later, nerds.